I was not going to continue covering this, but it is the story that just won't die, apparently. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the KSI, DanTDM, Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, Lunchly situation, as they're mostly titled on YouTube. That is the product that KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul created as a competitor to Lunchable. It is supposed to be a kids' lunch replacement that people are arguing about the health and safety of for kids. Now, originally, I was one of the people, and still am, one of the people that think that, yeah, okay, this is not the most healthy thing for kids to be eating, especially on a regular basis, right? This is something... Okay, you give it to them once a week at lunch. No one's gonna get hurt here. I've had Lunchables since I was like 4, and I'm good, all right? But granted, no, it's not the healthiest thing for your children to be eating. And if you do not want them to eat it as parents, then do not serve it to them, regardless how many times they fall on the floor, throw temper tantrums, and scream about their favorite YouTubers. So I was on that boat, right? Okay, not the most healthy thing. Probably shouldn't be giving it to kids on a regular basis. Really shouldn't be giving it to anybody on a regular basis, but neither should we do that with McDonald's, Del Taco, whatever else, right? But I wasn't going to sit here and crucify them like they had just sacrificed my firstborn child to the devil, like some of the sentiment I've seen online for KSI, Logan, and Mr. Beast. And obviously the KSI DanTDM thing was just a part of that, right? DanTDM essentially came out, said, hey, KSI, you guys should do better. YouTubers just selling things, whatever. Now, Logan made his response video, Mr. Beast made his response tweet, and they kind of just let it go. And in fact, DanTDM said what he said, and he let it go. But KSI cannot let it go. In fact, KSI has lost the plot here. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. So like I said, KSI just cannot let go this one comment that DanTDM said to him about this whole Lunchly situation. And there's a such thing as you know, playing the villain, which KSI likes to do in some cases, right? He is the nightmare, and he'll you know, bring some hate up on himself just to feed on it and then throw it back at people's face, right? That's kind of the thing that KSI does. Now, if you know KSI and you've studied his career, which I have, and I wasn't a fan of KSI's or most YouTubers when they were coming up. In fact, I was in school like they were. But you can look back through history and see where KSI has gotten himself in controversies before, and in those moments has played a bit of a villain role, or, you know, accepted the hate, and his community got behind him and accepted that hate too, and they all rode together. And eventually, you know, their community outweighed others, and they got through it, and I think sometimes buried people too, like on the way up. That was then, and this is now. And I don't think KSI in his mind has adjusted to the times. He is not the overarching one above all YouTuber that he used to be. And I think sometimes he doesn't realize that, because in this DanTDM situation, he is out in the public saying, yes, I'll take all the hate, but he's doing it despite himself, not to build himself. I don't know if he knows it yet, because he's kind of playing tongue-in-cheek with it, and he's like, oh, you know, I'm the nightmare, and he's kind of joking around, but people don't want to side with him on this. And he just keeps feeding that sentiment of them not liking the response. And I don't know why he's doing it, because it won't go away if he keeps doing it, and it's turning more people against him, and eventually you get to the point where we're at now, where you've lost the plot completely, and you don't even know why you're getting people to hate you, like actively trying to get people to hate you. In case you don't believe me, we'll just look through his Twitter. So here is, you know, the follow. This was September 17th. That was 2 weeks ago when this whole thing started coming out, and he was going back and forth with DanTDM, and the community notes have been on his ass, dude. Look at this. God. A double? I don't know if I've ever seen a double community note. Oh, wait, it's on 2 different tweets, but still, damn. So that happened, right? And then this whole DanTDM and Lunchly beef really shows that I'm in, quote, the thick of it. Out October 4th. Pre-save link down below. So this was him promoting his song in the thick of it. The problem is, and I don't even know if we can show some of this, Leo, but it didn't get people to care or laugh. They genuinely just responded with stuff like this. This guy ratioed him saying, we don't care. Live reaction. Your album got leaked and no one cared. You're so pathetic. Like, this is not, I mean, maybe it is the reaction he wanted, but it's not like the, oh, let's all laugh together about this joke I'm making about the situation. It's more like, there's some vitriol out there. I'm going to make this joke, and people still don't side with it, right? But again, clever marketing, fair play. I hope that the thick of it is a good song and it's doing well. But then there was, you know, the Marcus Brownlee situation, which, again, what the f is wrong with people, dude? Okay, the guy created an app that sells wallpaper in some cases, but some of them are free, and you can still get a wallpaper, but what are we doing? Find something real to be upset about, please. There's a lot that a lot of people could be upset about right now. We have political change coming to the United States of America. Global warming seems to be a real thing, or at least it looks that way. I'm not sure what's going on, but we just had a massive hurricane hit the eastern seaboard. Let's be upset about that. Israel-Palestine, that's a big deal that's going on that probably should get more attention than this kind of goofy shit. But here I am covering it. So who am I to stand or sit on my soapbox or fart smothered chair and talk to you guys about it? I gotta figure my shit out. Anyway, he keeps going. That was on September 24th. We keep going. A lot has happened in these past few days online, so I'm addressing everything below. So he sends a link right here, myapology.co.uk, right? Hi again, it's me, KSI. You're back for some more clicking. Click or tap here for an apology. One more time. Okay, you definitely clicked it, but it doesn't seem to be working. Click again for the apology. By the way, be sure to pre-save my new song coming out October 4th. Think of it. Okay. Okay, so after 17 million clicks to get to this video, which again, that's not bad. That's pretty funny. We get to this video of KSI apologizing for the back and forth. I don't exactly know. Again, this didn't deserve any sort of like massive videoed apology. People just were ready to kind of move on, I think. I was ready to move. I put my tweet out there, whatever, dude. But again, it is KSI perpetuating this thing continuing, which at this point, he's eating it up. He's loving life. He's loving all this shit, right? He's playing the villain, the nightmare. And here's his apology.
Hey, guys. A lot's happened these past few days. And I've had a lot of time to reflect and really understand everything that's happened and all of my actions. And, you know, first of all, I want to... Sorry. I want to apologize. I want to say sorry. I can't do it. Hey, yo, drink Prime and eat lunch with me, motherfucker. Stay mad, DanTDM fans. Womp womp.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 31-year-old man who, again, has made his living on YouTube and understands the troll nature of the internet. But again, he's not grasping that people don't look at this like, oh, we're so angry, we're going to keep going back and forth. They are just going to troll him back and just tell him how he's fallen off or that he was never as good as DanTDM. And I know no matter how much KSI does love his trolling, at some point you break. At some point, someone says something that's a little too personal to you that they shouldn't have said, but because you keep bringing this situation up, because you keep bringing it upon yourself, the hate that you wanted, it turns out you don't really want, right? You don't really want people to hate you. You want to play the villain until someone says something that really... And again, this video is just him losing the plot because DanTDM said one thing. He's not even fighting with DanTDM anymore. He's fighting with the underlings, the fans. Listen, I have had my issues responding too much to trolls, to hate, to whatever it is that gets my attention that I don't like what people are saying about me. So I can't really say that, oh, you shouldn't do that because I do it. But I definitely wouldn't have done this. Like, I definitely would not have continued to perpetuate this thing on and on and on just to get people to, I guess, interact with him, but they're not doing it in any way that's going to help his business, right? He's promoting the song, the food, the Prime, and all that, but these people are only interacting to tell them they won't go buy those and things. That their value of him as a creator, as a whatever it is they thought of him, continues to lower. You know, there's a theory I have about, like, I don't want to say overabundance maybe of hate. You know, they say this in the pro wrestling scene a lot. If you guys are big pro wrestling fans, there's a such thing as go away heat. They called it X-Pac heat because of the person X-Pac who had the heat, right? There's villains that you want to boo in wrestling. Right now it would be like Dominic Mysterio. You guys don't know that reference, never mind. But then there's some people that outside of like the prism of professional wrestling, this whole mindset you need to be in to enjoy it, you just don't want to see them. Not because they're the heel and you want to boo them and tell them how bad they are. You don't want them to be a part of the show. You want them to pack their bags, go home, and never be on your television screen. Again, this is just another example of KSI losing the plot. And it's not just on Twitter, right? It's not just on Twitter. He is dying to get a response out of the top dog. He's dying to get a response out of DanTDM, not just the underlings, not just the faceless, nameless people online that are going to, I'm sure, look at this tweet and respond. How everyone sees KSI these days. There's no way you're still talking about this. One singular tweet, by the way. This is what I mean. They're telling him, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. He knows that. He can't let it go because he is too deep in. KSI has actually shown that he cares about this or cares about what Dan's fans are saying enough to keep this whole thing going. And that's the biggest point. He's responding to the people that are not DanTDM to hopefully, I think, gain a response from DanTDM to go back and forth. And that's when I went from saying like KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan are not terrible people for selling lunchlies. They're selling a product, get over it, to, okay, yeah, KSI, you're doing too much. And he is. He's doing way too much because he's taking himself and this whole thing more seriously than it needs to be. If KSI stopped talking after he said the one thing to DanTDM, in fact, I don't really think he needed to respond to DanTDM, but the fact that he did, cool. It is what it is. You're defending your company. If he stopped there, most of the people that are talking to him right now would have left this whole thing behind and gone back to being DanTDM fans and Lunchly, just like Prime, because remember when Prime came out, a lot of detractors came out right behind it, talking about what was actually in the drink, talking about the, electrolyte blend and is it really healthy? Is it really a rehydration drink? All that stuff happened and then it died down and Prime went through the fucking roof. This type of stuff from KSI might actually hurt Lunchly more because you're putting this negative sentiment behind the company by continuing to address this one tweet in a negative way surrounding that company. First off, I think Logan Paul just had a child, so congratulations to him. Regardless what you think about Logan as an individual, bringing new life into this earth is awesome, so congrats. But you don't see Logan and Jimmy going back and forth with these freaking internet trolls because it's not going to do them any good as a company. Imagine Logan and KSI, after every bad thing a YouTuber said about Prime, going on a 2-week Twitter spree and video spree of, again, whatever, milking the hate, I don't know, whatever it was that KSI decided he was going to do with this. But again, I said it wasn't just on Twitter, and it's not. Here he is, I think in a Sidemen video. And again, it's him joking, but people will take this clip, like I am, even if it is out of context, and go, look, he still can't let it go. Look at him, right? So watch this.
Right now, one of the most hated people in the world, and I love it, baby. I need more hate.
160,000.
See, you say that, right? I need more hate. I need more hate. We're the most hated in the world right now. I need that. And I think old KSI really did thrive on that because, again, his community thrived on that. His community was there to back him up when he did that. Be like, yeah, we're the most hated, not just you, we. But I don't think he has that same support this time around. And I don't think he understands that people, again, are not like in character hating this. They just actually hate the way he's acting. And maybe that's him playing the game. Maybe that's the game he wants to play. But I don't think that that's going to gain him any favor. I don't think that's going to do anything for the company. I don't think it's going to do anything for him. Maybe he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. And maybe it won't affect the company negatively or positively. He's just like, whatever, cool. And again, do I think it's that serious for either party here? For DanTDM, who put one tweet and bounced? For KSI, who's having a bit of fun? Yeah, it's probably a little bit childish and he shouldn't be acting like a goofball like this at 31 over whatever fan base is coming after him over some Lunchables, but I think he's like something that needs to be cancelable. No, dude, it's internet drama that none of it matters at all in the grand scheme of things. But KSI keeps going with it, people are going to keep responding, and I think this is probably the one. I think, because again, I know the old KSI probably would have said something way worse than this and took it further, but I think this might be the tweet that finally gets him to go, okay, what am I doing? Why am I wasting energy on this? That's really it. Why am I wasting energy on this? He said today, thanks for the free promo, pussy. At DanTDM, DM me your bank details for the payment LMAO. So I guess maybe Lunchly got their first round of like sales back and they got to see the numbers and the views and all that and how it maybe translated to business because KSI's like, yeah, bro, we got a ton of great promotion, or maybe for his song, I'm not sure. So he tries to dance on DanTDM's head here. He's like, yeah, what up? I won. Added him, and Dan just didn't respond. I guess this is Dan. But yeah, so he tweeted that, and then someone else tweeted behind him that said, bro, this is not helping you at all. Wrap it up and apologize. Now, again, this apologize thing, dude, this is the self-pretentious nature of the internet. Like, I deserve an apology from you. It's not even that they want him to apologize to freaking Dan. It's they want an apology so they can hear it, so they can feel justified. That's a little silly. But anyway, he's right. KSI should wrap this up, because this is stupid. Like, we're tweeting about nothing, dude. Like, it's over with. The guy said what he said. KSI should just move on, but he can't, which is why we're here. He said, your mother should apologize to me for creating you. Now, listen, I am a grown man that uses a lot of your mother jokes. I would have worded it better to make it a bit more of a burn, like the one I gave your mother. Mine wasn't any better because I don't have STDs. Anyway, this is what I mean when you get that go home heat, because it's like in his head when he tweeted this, he went, yeah, the nightmare, the villain, I'm gonna get him. But when you step back and you take a breath and you look at the tweet, you're left going, yeah, that's cringe, isn't it? And it is. And KSI obviously thought it was, because a couple hours after he tweeted it, he deleted it. Now, this is why I say this whole thing has spun so far out of control, and KSI has created a monster that I don't even know that he knows he's created, in that he has turned people against him that are, no matter like how this thing goes, they're going to remember this whole interaction just like they remembered some of the old ones in the day that he was, came out on the better end of. But this is going to look very like desperate and pathetic and emotional from KSI to just go back and forth with nobody, because the guy tweeted at him once and apparently he tweeted back at him 13 times. And then you have these kind of replies. Imagine being a business owner and publicly making a post like that. Investors tend to get extremely picky on the public appearance of their investments. Now, again, that seems a little like weirdly threatening, like, oh, I'm a business owner. But at the end of the day, it is a bad look, right? If you're out here spinning in a circle trying to find someone to respond to you, and you work in the content creation industry, it probably doesn't build the best faith. It probably does build some bad faith out there with the same people that you want as fans. You like the people that are online that are interacting with KSI, that are DanTDM fans. I don't care what KSI tells you. He wants those people to buy Lunchly, because that is the market of people that would probably already want to buy Lunchly, or at least would understand what it is, know who KSI is, and know why it's different from Lunchable, you know what I'm saying? Or their kids, depending on who runs some of these accounts on Twitter. But anyway, the point of this video was pretty simple. And here's the best way to summarize it. I didn't know who DanTDM was before this beef, or whatever this is. Now I do. And he comes out looking like the baby face here, because KSI, the ultimate villain, the nightmare, just could not drop it. And for the people that didn't know KSI, which I don't know how you wouldn't, he's massive, they probably just introduced themselves to a person, or at least a content creator, that they don't want to know. And for the people that did and were a massive fan of his, they just see the guy crashing out daily on Twitter and just losing all sense of what this even was, or why he's even engaging in it anymore. It does look like, and I've seen this from KSI before, if you push the wrong button, whether you come after a product his pride, something about whatever he's doing, if there's too much criticism that may hit a little too close to heart, and that's honestly, that's what he's showing the people, that this is getting a little too close to home for him. Whether he wants to admit it or not, whether he hides it behind the laughs, I didn't think that the criticism from DanTDM was that harsh, but clearly it's hitting a little deeper than KSI wants to admit. So he's letting these DanTDM fans, and even the man himself, who hasn't responded or done anything since just the one tweet, live in his head rent-free, and it's taking over his online persona and life. KSI, it's time to let this go. From a guy that understands what happens when you hold on to a grudge for a little too long, it's time. You gotta let it go, or it will consume you like you want children to consume those Lunchlys, dude. It is gonna go bad. It's already gone bad. You guys let me know what you think down below. Has KSI lost the absolute plot of this whole situation, and is this gonna continue going on, or did he finally realize how stupid all this was? Because I realized it about 5 minutes after I tweeted mine. I was like, all right, well, that's over. What's next? Doesn't seem like he has. You guys let me know down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.